Hey guys, I'm back. It's episode 5. Let's get into it. So, this week we're going to be playing the Bills, which surprisingly they're 1 and 3. They're a much better team on paper. Obviously, 85 offense versus an 80 offense, 88 defense versus 85 defense, 86 overall versus 82 overall. Um, but when it comes down to rankings, we're standing tall with them. So, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, we can break this 2-game loss streak. We went 2-0 to start the season, and then 0-2 following that. So hopefully we can turn it around. I made a few trades after last game, so let's check out the lineup now. I believe I gave up a third round for the next 2 years and a fourth round in 2 separate trades for Julian Love and Rashawn Evans. I felt like we needed some upgrades, mainly in the middle of our defense. We're just getting destroyed across the middle, passes up the middle, runs up the middle, and we can't cover in that short middle of the field area, which is weird because I think I'm going to play middle linebacker for the rest of the season, but initially I was playing safety and giving up a lot of big plays. It was the same either way, so hopefully my idea here is to have Keanu Neal play that sub linebacker spot, and Rashawn Evans can play instead of Landon Roberts. Landon Roberts can be there for depth. I don't understand where Mark Robinson went, and also DeMonte Casey. I think if Casey was here, I never would have traded for Love, mainly because he's a bronze, whereas Neal is a silver, and I would have had 2 strong safeties with the ability to play middle linebacker, but that Dawson Jr., I don't even know who he is, but he was playing like trash. And every time there's a throw over the middle or something, he was the guy covering. So I figured give that an upgrade, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so I traded a third round next year and a third round the following year, and I believe I also traded Dan Moore, now that I'm thinking about it. So he was playing right tackle. We've got Chukwuma Okorafor at right tackle now, which is not much of a difference when it comes to right tackle play. Neither of them are going to be the long-term right tackle guy. All that trade really does is move right tackle up higher on my list of players to draft. Really, maybe even the highest now that I have some young guys in at middle linebacker and safety. Right tackle is probably our biggest need. D tackle is up there, as well as cornerback, I would say right now, just because Patrick Peterson's getting old, and Levi Wallace isn't super young either. I think he's 28 or 29. He might even be older than that, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, I think those positions are going to be our top searches in the draft here and in free agency. Yeah, it'll all depend on free agency. Will all depend on our cap space and who we re-sign and everything. So yeah, we'll see about it. We do have a breakout linebacker event, so let's see how this is, or who it is, really. Cole Holcomb, okay. If I can put together another game like that against the Bills, it'll go a long way toward establishing me as a leader on this team. So let's see what I need. Hold the Bills to less than 250 total yards. Not sure if I've even done that this season. Or get Cole Holcomb 1+ interception, forced fumble, tackle for loss, or sack. That should be easy enough. Be able to get him one thing. Maybe if it's getting late in the game and he hasn't got it yet, I'll send a blitz and see if I can get him in there. Hopefully I can get a pick, though. Oh, it's a rain game. Odds that Cole Holcomb ends up with some sort of turnover is, I would say, high at that point with a rain game. Looks like it's going to be raining for the entire game this week. It probably won't take long for those conditions to get sloppy. I say run the ball. It kind of scares me to run the ball against the Bills D-line. They're pretty threatening. Do I trust the offensive line or do I try to pass it? I feel like their cornerback room is their weak spot. We're going to pass. Especially since right now their cornerbacks are mainly rookies because They didn't get that season of experience in 22. So, yeah, let's see how this goes. I'm going to jump right into it, and I'll see you guys on the other side. So the 2-2 Pittsburgh Steelers head to Buffalo today to play the 1-3 Buffalo Bills in a rain game. It should be fun. Patrick Peterson with 6 interceptions, making an early bid for MVP this season, if not Defensive Player of the Year. Certainly on his way. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs are going to be the main keys to watch on this offense. And I really like the young receiver they have in Gabe Davis as well. I think that it's a fantastic 1-2 punch at wide receiver. Then, as we all know, the Bills' defense took a step up last year and definitely became one of the top units in the league. Pass rush, including Von Miller, who will be in this game, has made their defense significantly better. Although the loss of Tremaine Edmonds will definitely hurt their linebacker core. I don't understand this completion percentage being 38%. If I look at it anywhere else, it's above 50%. So I don't know why that comes up like that. But it's just, I'm just going to write it off as a Madden thing, I guess. I'm excited for this game. We're ready to come in here and snap our 2-game losing streak. It's not been fun. I've not been enjoying it, and I really hope to put together a good game and make us 3-2. So on 1st and 10, first play of the game, Cole Holcomb makes a stop, and it's going to be 2nd and 6. Josh Allen throws an incomplete pass on 2nd and 6, and we get a roughing the passer penalty. And it's kind of an incredible penalty to call on TJ there, considering he didn't even touch Josh Allen. But I guess he did touch his waist a tad, but whatever. We're going to deal with it. 1st and 10 on 39. Bills throw it out wide on a check down for a gain of 0. It's going to be 2nd and 10. And Josh throws right up the middle for a gain of 8. It's going to be 3rd and 2. On the toss play, Harris goes backwards for 5 yards, and the Bills punt it out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So Pittsburgh's going to get started with their first drive on the 20-yard line. Kenny's been good this year, needs to drop the interceptions, but otherwise he's played a pretty good season thus far. On 1st down, we do what we do best, and we hand it off to Najee Harris for a gain of 2 yards. Najee's been having not the greatest average lately, so hopefully this game he can pick it up. On 2nd and 8, we're going to gain 22 yards on a throw from Pickett to Pickens. And 1st and 10, handed off to Najee for a gain of about 12. So another 1st and 10 on the Bills' 43. Pickett throws a little far for Allen Robinson, and we got a 2nd and 10. Najee Harris gains 5 on 2nd and 10, so we've got 3rd and 5. Kenny's back in the shotgun, and he's throwing it out wide on the corner route to Deontay Johnson. Another gain of 22. Both passes so far gone for 22 yards. And DJ makes a catch for a gain of 13 up to the Bills' 3-yard line. We got 1st and goal, and the pitch play goes to Najee for a touchdown. Early lead here for Pittsburgh, up 7-0. And on 1st and 10 of the Bills' drive, they go backwards. I believe that was TJ Watt with a huge stop. We got 2nd and 11, and they're going to throw it out to the flat for a gain of 6. We got 3rd and 5. Josh Allen's back to throw, and he might run it. He does run it. I whiffed the tackle, and he gets 6 when he needed 5. So 1st and 10. Nyheim Hines gains 2 on 1st and 10, and then he gains 0 on 2nd and 8. So it's going to be 3rd and 8. Oh, and Cole Holcomb got fooled on that curl route there. That was a nice route by the tight end. And it's going to be a screen pass on 1st and 10, and Nyheim Hines goes for 13 yards. So that's going to be another 1st and 10. Josh Allen back to pass and throws it to the sideline for a gain of 4. And he's back to pass again. TJ's hot on his trail. Oof. That tip almost made it a complete pass on the errant throw there. Watt had pressure. And up the seam for a gain of, 20 probably. But it's going to be a 1st and 10. And Harris goes for 10 more. So 1st and goal on the 7-yard line. And they're going to hand it off. And it's a tie game. So Buffalo didn't have a great first drive, but they answered the Steelers' first drive directly after that with a very efficient touchdown drive. Pittsburgh's going to get it 1st and 10 on their own 33 after a decent return by Calvin Austin, and they go backwards 4 yards. And then Pickett gets hit on the throw on 2nd and 14, and we've got a 3rd and 14. Now they're going deep. Allen Robinson, wide open. Play that worked at the end of last week, gets us a touchdown. Huge. Allen Robinson has been clutch this season, making all types of big plays. That slot position really sets you up for success on the Steelers offense. Gain of 10 yards on 1st and 10, or I should say 9.5 because it's 2nd and inches. Josh Allen has a year and a half to throw, and he throws it to Stephon Diggs, who was out of bounds, so this play is not going to count. Definitely coming back, illegal touching. He was about 5 yards off the field of play. Don't know why he was doing that. And on 3rd and inches, huge sack for Alex Highsmith. Loss of 7-8 yards. And the Bills punt. So Pittsburgh has it on the 20. And on 1st and 10, they're going to hand it off to Najee. And he's breaking through a hole. He goes for about 11 yards. It's going to be another 1st and 10. And it looks like Najee's getting the ball again. And he's going backwards for 2. So it's 2nd and 12. Kenny in the shotgun. Back to pass. No time. Actually, he had time. He just didn't have anybody open. And on 3rd and 26, he gets hit as he throws, and the Steelers punt it. So up 14-7, but the last 2 drives have gone pretty much nowhere. On 1st and 10, the Bills gain 10, and they have another 1st and 10. Josh Allen rolling out, and it's picked off by Patrick Peterson. Who else? 7th interception of the season. Making a game-changing play there. Pittsburgh's got the ball in Bills territory on the 38-yard line for 1st and 10. Kenny Pickett back to pass. First play of the drive, Deontay Johnson scores a touchdown. That's what I like to see. One-play drives after turnovers. Fantastic. Now we got TJ Watt rushing around the edge as Josh Allen's running. He throws it out of bounds. He had nobody to go to, and pressure was closing in. And Levi Wallace almost makes another pick there. If he didn't swat and went for the pick, he probably would have got it. 21-7. It's been a good first half for Pittsburgh. And Minka mosses Stephon Diggs. That's the opposite of what happened this year in the game. But I think it was Gabe Davis was doing the mossing in that. What? Is that 2 or 3 turnovers for Pittsburgh thus far? It's been good. The offense has been chugging along. They could probably play better, but that last drive was pretty perfect. And throwing it out wide to Deontay Johnson again for another 1st down. So 1st and 10 on the 38. And Najee gets it on the counter play, and he goes for big yards. It's about a 33-yard run, and Kenny's got it on 1st and 10, and he got tackled, and for some reason he was able to roll for about a gain of a yard there before he was actually touchdown. And now we've got 3rd and 24 after a no gain for Najee Harris. And Deontay Johnson makes a catch on 3rd and 24 for a gain of 13, putting us in field goal range, and we're going to send Boswell out there to give it a try. Squeaks it in on the left side. It was tight. Hit right in that inside corner, but he made it. It's an improvement over last time we tried field goals. 24-7, and TJ Watt is right in front of the pass, and he's getting a pick 6. What the heck is Josh Allen doing there? TJ Watt was all over it. It wasn't like he lurked or anything, just stood right in front of the pass, and he got a pick six. So it's 31-7, nearing halftime. It's been a blowout for Pittsburgh so far. And another pick. Levi Wallace. I swear it's on all Madden. I promise you. I don't know what's happening, but Pittsburgh is just absolutely dominating this game so far. After the first pair of drives, I thought it was going to be a tight game. It was 7-7, and I guess the first three drives, and Josh Allen just got the turnover bug, I guess. I don't know. 1st and 10 on the 22. Kenny's throwing it out of bounds, and it's going to be 2nd and 10. Kenny on the run, gets it to Pat Freiermuth for a gain of 1. Risky throw in coverage. Oh, he had a wide open George Pickens there and held on to it to throw to somebody else and didn't get the completion. So Pittsburgh's going to kick a field goal with 6 seconds left in the clock, make it 34-7. Buffalo's going to kneel it out. I don't blame them. They had a rough end of the second quarter there. Really, offensively, nobody's done amazing. It's just been a game of turnovers. And on the first play of the second half, the Bills get a tip and a pick, even out that turnover ratio a little bit. And Pittsburgh was just getting a little bit comfortable, I guess. Wanted to try some deep shots, which has not been our MO most of the time this season. It usually goes the way it just did. So 1st and 10 for Buffalo after a big gainer. And they're going to get another 12-yard gain. And it's going to be 1st and goal. And 3 plays, they're right in. And they're putting a little pressure on us. We're still up 20, 34-14. So just playing our own game. But if Buffalo can keep getting turnovers and stops and playing well on offense, then this will become a whole new game. Doesn't look like it so far, though. First 2 plays of our drive, Pittsburgh has gone for first downs, and Najee on the truck there, gain of 8. 2nd and 2, Najee right up the middle. Getting 3, needed 2. It's going to be 1st and 10. Kenny on the run, throws it out of bounds. Najee on the run, and he goes for about 12. He couldn't outrun the one guy he needed to go for much bigger, but it went well anyway. And then Kenny throws it up the middle to Allen Robinson for a first down. That's going to be leading right to 1st and goal, which leads to a George Pickens touchdown. 40-14. It's been a blowout. I am happy about the game. I'm feeling ecstatic, even though I might not sound like it. The game, I mean, at this point, it's pretty much out of reach, even though there's a quarter and a half. I shouldn't probably talk like this, but this is just what we've been needing. We're putting it together on offense. We're finishing drives in the end zone, taking what we get whenever there's turnovers. We're not turning it over right back. I know we've gone for 2 field goals, but we put ourselves in position to go for those field goals. It wasn't like it was just a turnover and then we went 3 and out and kicked a field goal. We moved the ball. And the offense has been struggling at times this season to move the ball when we need to most. Not this game. Same way, the defense has been struggling to get stops when they need to most, and that's not been happening this game either. We've been getting the stops we need. Really, we've been stopping them almost every drive. There's just a few times they've scored, and the first one was early on in the game, and then we kind of shut them out for the rest of the first half. And now we're doing our best to keep the pressure on here and finish this one up. TJ Watt with a sack. That's another thing that's been missing this season is sacks. We've just not been putting in the pressure that you expect out of the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially with TJ Watt being healthy. Alex Highsmith being much improved. But we got another pass to Allen Robinson for a big gain. And we just continue to move the ball down the field. put it in scoring position early on in every drive. It's just all coming together. Najee up the middle, weaving around a little bit for about 15, and we've got another first down on the Bills' 21-yard line. Throwing it out wide, Deontay Johnson making the touchdown catch. This is a route. It's literally the opposite of the way the Steelers-Bills game went this year, because the Bills kicked the crap out of the Steelers. And, maybe I was using that game as a little bit of motivation as I played this, but nonetheless, the Bills are getting stomped right now. They're doing what they can to keep their pride alive, but at 1-3 coming into this game and then getting stomped, they're gonna go to 1-4. It's a rough season, and it's hard to imagine a rough season when your roster is as good as the Bills' roster is, but something's happening in that locker room this season, and it's just not coming together well, and you hate to see it. My dad is a Bills fan. I hate to see it, but luckily, this isn't how their real-life team goes, so they get a run up the middle for a touchdown, bringing the score back down to a 24-point deficit instead of a 31-point deficit. And they go for the onside kick, which they almost actually got, and we recover. 2nd and 8, Najee Harris up the middle. That's a stupid animation. I know I probably should have been tackled regardless, but don't make the animation look like I broke the tackle and then make me fall to nothing. Kind of stupid. But yeah, 1st and 10. As you can tell, we're running the clock. We're just running up the middle. I just want the game to be over. I don't want any mistakes. Don't want to allow anything big to happen for the Bills here. And that's another thing I didn't want to happen. Injury. Broderick Jones. As Kenny takes a sack, but he didn't fall too far back where we were out of field goal range. Little revenge there. Had to bring Cole Holcomb on the blitz and get a sack there on 1st down. It's going to be 3rd and 12 after a gain of 5. Josh Allen back to pass, throwing it out wide. Scary when you target Patrick Peterson, the front runner of the league for MVP, even though he probably isn't due to Madden. Oh my goodness, another one. The same exact pass twice in a row. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to check it out, how the Madden rankings are whenever we get the league leaders for awards. But there's no doubt in my mind that Patrick Peterson should be a front runner for MVP. At 8 interceptions in 5 weeks. Are you kidding me? He's gonna break a league record. He's gonna go down in history books. But yeah, as you can see, it was a good game for everybody. Deontay Johnson, 6 catches for 123 yards, 2 touchdowns. George Pickens only had 37 yards receiving. That needs to come up, but he did have 1 touchdown. Allen Robinson, 3 catches for 130 yards. He's averaging 43 yards a catch during that game. Najee Harris, 1 catch for 14 yards. Defensively, sack-wise, Alex Highsmith had a sack and a half. TJ Watt had a half sack. Cam Hayward had a half sack. Interceptions, Pat Pete had 2. TJ had 1. Levi Wallace had 1. Minka had 1. All right, so we broke out of the losing streak. I know it was only a 2-game losing streak, but when you're at 2-2, sitting even early on in the season, it makes you feel a little bit rough, especially when the rest of your division is competitive. So it's good to get a win. It's good to watch the defense play well, only allow 250 yards. The offense played well as also 400 yards. Great rushing game, good passing game. This is what we expect of the Steelers. 279, 128. 279, the way the Steelers were last year through the air, 279, I'd be very happy to see them do this year. Barely had more first downs, but the total yards was an absolute blowout. 5 turnovers is huge it really should be more of a blowout, but we still won by 26 points. So red zone percentage is one thing we need to improve on, and everything else was pretty damn good. Kenny played well, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, 319 yards, and a 127 passer rating. Josh Allen with only a 52.6. And then Najee, obviously 4.9 per carry with 1 touchdown, 26 carries for 128 yards. That's a great line. I love to see it. 4 broken tackles as well. Receiving-wise, Allen Robinson led the team in yards on only 3 receptions. He did have that one really long 71-yard reception. He had 1 touchdown. Deontay Johnson got the most targets or at least the most catches. I don't know about targets, but 6 catches for 123 yards, 2 touchdowns. Great game. George Pickens still lacking a little bit, but I'm not too worried about it. I think he'll come on, and we just need to focus on him a little bit more. Same thing with Pat Freiermuth. We didn't really need a safety valve. Everything was working, so there weren't too many checkdowns happening, and he just didn't get looked at as much as he probably should. Other than that, defensively, sacks-wise, Alex Highsmith had a sack and a half. Cole Holcomb had a half sack. TJ Watt had a half sack. Cameron Hayward had a half sack. And interceptions, Pat Pete continues his incredible season with 2 more interceptions. I think he has 8 now. I think he had 6 coming into that game. And did he get a touchdown? I'm recording this later, a day later, so I kind of forgot. But no touchdown. TJ had the pick 6. It's crazy when you see TJ Watt have a pick 6. I know in real life he's pulled that move, picking off Joe Burrow a couple times at the line. This one was kind of ridiculous. I can't believe Josh Allen threw that pass, but it is what it is. I'll take it. Levi Wallace with a pick. Minka had another pick too. So yeah, it was a great game. I was very happy with it. I knew we would be able to break out of that losing streak eventually, and doing it against a team with the quality players and just the quality of the Buffalo Bills. Even though they're 1-4 now in this league, they're still, stats-wise, leaps and bounds ahead of Pittsburgh. I mean, our defense is an 85 overall. Their defense is an 88. Offense, 80 to 85. Overall, team-wise, 86 to 82. I'm happy with it. It was a good game. Let's check out these buckets and wrap up this video. So we got a breakout player. Cole Holcomb, the game started to slow down for him. That's what's up. And so now he's got a star development trait, which is awesome because middle linebacker is definitely a weak point on our team. I mean, you saw me make some moves to try and improve that room, and now our number 1 guy is a star development. So that's awesome. Let's see what they have to say about it being a rain game. Never easy to play. Obviously not. Have to be happy to get out with a win. Definitely. Let's see what we got for that. 1,000 XP for everybody on the team. Okay, that's not really anything special. Some upgrades. We got James Daniels here. I mean, I'd probably want to go with power just because we're trying to run the ball on people, and it's working. It would be really cool if it worked even better. Cole Holcomb, field general. I mean, he's calling the plays on defense. He's our guy. Star development now. So, yeah, let's add +3 to his tackling. 26 years old, too. So, hopefully he's a good guy to have in the middle of that defense for plenty of years to come. Darnell Washington, he's kind of our blocking tight end, so I'm going to go with blocking. I do want to make him somewhat of a receiver, but we really need to get Pat Freiermuth his targets as well, so there's just not enough targets to go around right now. He's young enough that he can be a blocker for now. Larry Ogunjobi, I don't know how much longer we're going to have him. I think he's getting a little bit older for Madden. Oh, he's 28. I don't know why I was thinking he was like 30. Well, maybe I'll keep him around a little bit longer. But I am focusing on his position a little bit in the draft, so we'll see if anybody is available at any of our picks that are maybe an improvement, or maybe he can be a mentor. Jalen Warren, I'm going to upgrade receiving back because that's kind of his role in our offense. Third down, receiving back. It's hard on Madden to have him come in only on third down. Because if you make him third down running back, they put him in for every outside run, and it's stupid because I don't want that. I want him to be in for like the screen passes. I want him to be in on third down and maybe on counter plays. That's really it. See, Mason Cole, 68 power. Yeah, I mean, he's just kind of a depth piece at this point. I think he might be playing right now because got some injuries on the O-line. Upgrade Calvin Austin. Physical would probably do the most for him on our team, but I'm going to do playmaker because I've heard that it's the best one to do, and it looks like it is. It's quite a lot of things. I've been playing this game all year, but sometimes you don't really pay attention to this kind of stuff unless you're really invested or you're making YouTube videos or something like I'm doing now. But yeah, I never really was like, which bucket is the best one to upgrade for a receiver? I just recently saw a video of somebody talking about it being playmakers, so that kind of is my go-to most of the time, unless, like with George Pickens in one of my other leagues, I made him very physical, which I think that's a little more realistic for him. I mean, playmaker would work just as well. He makes crazy catches, but I think he's a great blocker too, and that's kind of what I was going for in that other one. Great blocker and physical at the point of the catch, high pointing and contorting his body and all that. The contorting his body is kind of a playmaker thing, but yeah, you get it. Yeah, I think that about wraps it up for this week's video. Thanks for watching. Please come back for more. I told you we'd start winning again, and we got one there. So next week against the Bucks, come back for that one. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And as always, have a nice day, guys.